Couldn't wait to get to this one, man, because it's almost like having a wish that comes true, right? A lot of the late nights that I spent last year watching those Mountain West Pac-12 games came with the fact that I got to see John Mateer a lot when everybody else on the East Coast was sleeping. And so when he transferred to Oklahoma and then Ben Arbuckle came with him, you're talking about a guy in me that was like, I'm not saying that he's going to win the Heisman, but I think he's a dark horse. And people keep looking at the fact that like Oklahoma was a bad team. If one thing is certain with Brent Venables is he's going to have a pretty good defense, and we saw that. But having the Deion Burks there and the rest of those guys got some talent. He had some talent last year there. You tried the Jackson Arnold experiment after getting rid of Dylan Gabriel, and it just didn't work out. I look at John Mateer's stats, and I say, yeah, that's about right. John Mateer in 2 games has played, of course, an FCS team. And then we're coming up against Michigan from last week, game of the week, based on the rankings. 662 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And on the ground, 26 rushes, 98 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And if you looked at the way that John had played, which I think I'm going to do a film study this week on John Mateer, he made so many big plays, not only with his feet, but most importantly, his arm. And a lot of people keep comparing this dude to Baker Mayfield. I get the gutsy aspect of it, but I think he's his own guy. It's hard to put a finger outside of the throwing motion. I'm trying to figure it out. He's kind of got like an Aaron Rodgers type of throwing motion to him. I just made that correlation. Now I've been trying to think all day who I think this guy throws like. He's got that quick sidestep kind of throwing motion that's very fun to watch, and the ball just comes off like a cannon off of his hand. Michigan was ranked number 15th at the time, man. And I don't want to say they smacked him, but the 24-13 win was definitely put on his shoulders. Here's some cool stats about John Mateer. Mateer has completed 72% of his passes through the first 2 games of the season. He's currently ranked 33rd nationally in passing efficiency. His passing yards rank him 9th nationally at 662. Now, here's the thing that I want you guys to kind of get a glimpse of and follow me here. Explosive play creation is one of the things I like to look up for any player. But 13 of Oklahoma's 14 explosive plays in the game against Michigan were because of John Mateer, including 3 runs of 10-plus yards. They got some hell of some running backs there. But you add him to the mold, and it makes everything seem a little crazy, man. Don't want to say that you can't stop them, but I also want to say that people have to put respect on Michigan's name. Michigan always recruits well. They always have players around them. But I think, honestly, we can say that this is not the same Michigan team that we've seen the last 2 years. Probably in the last 5 years, to be completely honest with you. I think they're going to have some lumps and bumps on the road. But the way that John Mateer has played has been nothing short of remarkable. I think Deion Burks finally had his game that he was looking forward to last week, which is kind of funny because he's from East Michigan, which that's where East Landing is at, and Michigan did not recruit him, so he kind of took this game personal. I think him and John talked about that, this past week, which is cool that he was involved in the game as much as he was. But a lot of good players stepped up. It seems like he's got a good grasp on his team. And there's 3 quarterbacks that I keep coming to that are just like, man, they just seem like pro quarterbacks right now. Chandler Morris of Virginia, John Mateer, and my man Parker Navarro from Ohio. Those are the 3 quarterbacks that I really just got my eye on. They've looked really, really good. these past couple of weeks. And by all accounts, man, I think, when we talk about John Mateer moving forward, is if you have anybody right now, if you had to pick the top 4 guys in your Heisman, which is way too early, but I think if you're picking guys for the Heisman, you have to probably have him in the front, from not only beating the top 15 team, playing, when under the lights, you know what I'm saying, and going in the transfer portal with Ben Arbuckle and him just trusting the process. I think Brent Venables not only gets his job saved because of him, I think Brent Venables needs to find his next John Mateer, and keep Ben Arbuckle as long as he can, because John's having a hell of a last year of eligibility for Oklahoma so far in just 2 games. And I'm super excited to see how fun this is going to be to watch the rest of the year, for sure.